there've got to be some things that we're just like, oh yeah, no, that's an internet thing. We've all been like aware of it forever, whatever. And that like, I feel like a lot of kids just wouldn't have any context for.
So I went and saw Don't Breathe 2.
I have heard nothing but weird and exclusively bad things.
That is the...
He died from not fucking hard enough. If Plato would have fucked harder, he would have been here today.
It's true.
You know, one thing that people listen to this podcast for is knowledge, I think. I think everyone can agree we're the Thinking Man's podcast. Yeah, honestly, we are better than a new Lamborghini, which is what I think you said.
Not us, but knowledge.
Knowledge,
is
honestly,
better than, yes.
I would argue knowledge is better than 2 new Lamborghinis. Maybe not 3, but at least 2. And one thing that we love to spread on the knowledge front is how to be a masculine, manly man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, all the time.
And so I found a very informative list from the Twitter account Path to Manliness, and I just wanted to share it with everyone because these are important things that we all need to know. 10 things masculine men don't do. 1, don't eat soy food. It's become a meme.
It's true,
but trust the science.
They make you girl.
That's exactly it. It's food high in soy. It's wrecking your endocrine system. Soy and soy-based products, they've been shown to lower testosterone levels. So, don't eat soy. Don't follow Instagram quote unquote models. Do you suffer from porn addiction? Looking to quit? One of the most common triggers is a constant barrage of ass cheeks and cleavage found on Instagram. Unfollow them. Masculine men.
Specifically Instagram.
Yeah.
I see boobies on Twitter and I go, eh. I see boobies on Instagram. I'm like, I gotta jerk off.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
Been there. We've been there.
And you know what? Unfollow them. Masculine men don't lust after pixels of girls that other dudes are banging. So keep that one in your noggin. That's tip number 2. But you ready for tip number 3? Tip number 3?
I'm so ready.
Don't get out of shape. There's nothing masculine about a dad bod. You remember that, okay? If you have kids, you have a responsibility to set the right example. This means eating healthy, being energetic, and capable. You should be able to carry your kids.
If it's not masculine, why do they call it a dad bod?
True.
That's the liberal
checkmate
media.
Atheist.
So checkmate back. Take that.
Damn, uncheckmated.
Propaganda.
I can't believe I got uncheckmated, dude.
Uno reverse card. Now, here's a biggie. We never do this, so I think we're safe. Number 4, don't rant about politics. Too many men are distracted from their purpose. For the record, there is no point of this 10-point list that says what your purpose is.
To be man.
Yeah, it's just to be man.
Fuck hard.
But anyway, falling for the outrage of the week. This politician said this. They're coming for your guns. This country you can't find on the map hates you. It's mostly noise. Don't let it put you from your mission.
Wait, why can't you find it on the map? Because it's part of being manly, being bad at geography?
I'm sorry, when was the last time a man needed to pick up a globe?
Yeah. Cartographers are women.
Exactly.
Map making is an art for girls.
You need to know moss on the north side of tree, how to read compass, and a topographical map of the mountains near you.
That's man, fuck hard and have compass.
Exactly. But don't
That's true,
worry.
Though.
We got some more points here. We got some very important info. Number 5, don't whine about your problems. Some people are energy vampires, always complaining. Woe is me. Remember acta non verba? Adopt the Stoic mantra into your life. Use actions to deal with the problems that you can control. Deal with the rest later. Men solve problems.
That's not solving problems. That's just solving problems you can solve, but everyone should do that. And it just said to push down the problems you can't solve instead of talking to people about them.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's exactly the lesson.
I think it starts to lose the
hard.
point on that last line of men solve problems, where that's true, but the it's a little blurry in the leading up to that. I think we could have probably cut this down to don't whine about your problems, men solve problems. I think that's it.
Yeah,
right?
I agree. Yeah, talking about a Stoic mantra. Oh, Stoicism? What is this? Philosophy? Fuck you. That's girl.
Exactly.
Socrates famous for being girl.
Exactly.
Plato is girl.
And you know
Make
what
him
else?
not man.
Plato's dead.
Yeah, he died from not being fuck enough. He died from not fucking hard enough. If Plato would have fucked harder, he would have been here today.
It's true. Plato, notorious for actually not fucking. That's what he's known for.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, that Socrates guy, he probably doesn't even fuck that hard. We're like, if he does, it's probably not that often, and that's how he died.
Yeah.
Yep, it's true.
That's what happened to Houdini, too.
Exactly. You hear about it all the time. Soy
It's sad,
boy
honestly.
Houdini, they say.
Yeah. But Houdini was also a
The
philosopher, by the way.
SBH. Soy boy Houdini.
Soy boy Houdini, the philosopher.
He's got it out for us.
But you know, that was number 5. Don't whine about your problems. Number 6, don't drown in self-pity. Bad things happen in life. What matters is how you pick yourself up afterward. Masculine men are resilient, even anti-fragile. Treat it like a challenge and find a way to overcome.
I mean, that's actually kind of just solid, but if they just took out the masculine men part, that's actually just kind of a good idea. Yeah, you know, don't look down on yourself. You know, you gotta look towards the horizon a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And fuck hard.
Exactly. Although, out of character for a second here, I do love how 0.5 and 0.6 are kind of the same point, and it's really funny that they put them right next to each other. But you know,
that's because masculine men don't make good lists, Noah.
what do you think we
Idiot.
are? A bunch of fucking nerds reading books?
Yeah.
No.
Every second you spend making a list with 10 individual points is a second you don't spend fucking hard.
Exactly. If you didn't write this on a wall with a carpenter's pencil, I hate to say it, but you're probably not fucking hard.
Yeah.
Now
true.
here's a good news for everyone though, because it may be 0.7, but we've hit the peak of the list. Don't beg a woman to go out. It's either a fuck yes or it's a no. Don't double text girls who don't respond. Quit with the good morning texts if you're not dating. Don't wait months to ask her out. Make your move immediately. Adopt the abundance mindset.
I will say, I think good morning text when you're not dating is a little creepy. Unless it's been specified as okay. I feel like it's one of those, like, if someone's, like, not that into you and you're not really a thing at all, you shouldn't text them good morning. I agree with that point.
Mm-hmm.
And you should fuck hard.
You fuck
gotta
hard,
add that in
100%, yes. All right, so...
yeah, I feel like that, yeah, good morning texts are definitely, you shouldn't send them to just, to people who don't like you that much.
Mm-hmm.
Fact.
Yeah. Here's point number 8. Don't split the bill. The amount of men on here whining about paying for dates, here being Twitter, is astonishing. Men are meant to be providers. There are exceptions, of course, but on early dates, the man is supposed to pay the bill. Be a provider. You want a trad wife? Pay the bill.
What if you don't want a trad wife?
Fuck you.
Wait, no, if you don't want a trad wife, how would you fuck hard?
That's what I'm saying.
Sorry. I forgot that the number one most important rule is fuck hard.
Exactly.
And everything you do should be for that simple, singular goal.
True.
Exactly. I'm glad.
I fuck like I'm going to war.
I'm really glad that we're all on the same page here. I was worried that maybe we wouldn't all be manly men together, but we're all here.
Yeah.
And that makes me happy.
Yeah, I actually hate women.
Yeah, no, me too, of course. Yeah.
Hey, Noah, if you hate him so much, why don't you marry one?
Couldn't be me. Point number 9. Don't waste time on childish hobbies. Playing video games, collecting toys, comic books, all these things are fine in moderation. But if you can't stay in shape, can't find time to date your wife or meet a nice girl, don't have the life you want, reevaluate your priorities.
What do you mean date your wife? You gonna break up with your wife?
No, I mean
That's
that
called a
one's actually solid. As like that specifically for dating your wife. Like that's actually a thing that I fully support. That's the idea of like continuing to treat your wife as well as you did when you were dating, and not just like letting yourself become complacent in the relationship. I'm actually pretty okay with that.
I agree, but I think that the problem is if you have to go to a Twitter list to tell you don't read Batman, please talk to your wife.
That's true.
It's just like your wife should have probably at some point been like, "Hey, man, why you buying only video games? Why don't you talk to me ever?" And if you're like, whatever, and then you read a Twitter list and you're like, "Oh wait, this will help me fuck hard."
That's true.
Every second you spend reading Batman is a second you don't spend fuck hard.
Mm-hmm. Even though I think we can all agree Batman does fuck hard, though.
No, Batman absolutely fucks hard.
I don't think so.
You think he's a gentle fucker? Or you just don't think he fucks at all?
I feel like he just doesn't have sex that often, and when he does, he's really not that about it. That's my theory.
Oh, are you thinking that he just has sex enough that he doesn't die from lack of sex?
Exactly. He's trying to avoid the Socrates.
I mean, I'm glad that Batman hasn't pulled a Socrates yet. It would be a bad example for men.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know. I
Wouldn't
think
it be
Batman's
crazy
the
if, like, the
manliest
next
man,
Batman...
though. You know, he...
What if there's a Batman comic that came out and it was just like Batman died, from not fucking hard enough.
That would be such a gift.
See, all I'm saying is Batman doesn't reciprocate and he beats people up on a regular basis. I'm just saying, I think Batman
Look,
is...
I'm going to say it.
Hmm?
Batman probably does reciprocate, but it can't be portrayed.
You know what? So what we're really having problems here with, I think, is that we all agree Batman should and does fuck. I think the problem we have here is that, like, the cowards at DC won't let Batman fuck.
It's true.
It's true.
They only let him fuck off screen, and then he has a kid from it.
That's
let
fucked
Batman
up.
fuck.
You know what?
They should let Batman fuck
firmly
on
in this
camera.
On
camera.
I literally am not interested in any Batman comic ever again if it does not contain Batman actively
Full
fucking.
frontal Batman.
On full frontal Batman.
The full frontal Batmaning, if you will.
Yeah. He's got to keep wearing the hood, though. Not for me.
Obviously, he's not a
for,
fucking savage.
Other people.
Not for me. Okay, Noah. I know. Read your final point here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Stop being so damn indecisive. Women want men of action. They want men to lead. You don't have to be right all the time, but you need to call the shots. If your girlfriend / wife / waifu
Slash what?
/ waifu.
Oh my god.
Slash what?
If your girlfriend / wife / waifu is asking you what's for dinner, she wants you to make a decision. This may mean planning date night.
Hatsune Miku asked me what was for dinner.
And that means that she wants you to fuck hard.
Miku wants me to fuck hard and make braised short ribs.
I mean, hold on, wait a minute.
There's one thing that sounds really good.
That sounds like a nice evening.
Hold on, wait a minute.
I don't know why braised short ribs was the first food that came to my mind. It just sounded good. Like, if I had to make Hatsune Miku food,
Yeah, no,
I feel like I'd probably make her braised short ribs.
Yeah, dude, it absolutely. If you're making Hatsune Miku food, it gotta be them braised short ribs, dude.
I think she likes them. Yeah, she's like, wow, are these braised? Yeah, actually, I did them in the Instant Pot.
Wow.
You can get them done so quick in there.
You know how to use an Instant Pot? Not a grill?
Yeah.
Soy boy.
Oh, fuck.
Can't
You guys ever
believe
had Instant Pot ribs, though?
I have not, but I've heard very good things.
So good. You start them in the Instant Pot, and then you finish them on the grill. Phenomenal. It's so easy. I don't even like ribs.
Did Hai send you that video of Pretty Good Cooking that I think he did that?
No.
Oh. Yeah,
But
he
my girlfriend's mom does that.
nice.
That's her go-to.
Is your girlfriend's mom Phil from Pretty Good Cooking?
No, she's not.
Oh, damn.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh,
Now that we talked about Batman fuck hard,
Mhm.
I watched the new Marvel movie. That's right.
Oh, you watched the new Batman?
I watched the new Batman.
That's awesome. How was it?
It was weird because they spoke a lot of Chinese, and I didn't think Batman did that.
You know what? Maybe this is trying to show that he's more than a two-dimensional beat 'em up character.
Oh wow, yeah, he's used his money to experience other cultures in the world at large. No, I didn't watch Batman. I watched Shang-Chi.
Nice.
Oh, I heard it was really solid. I've heard literally only good things.
Mhm.
It's literally it's a Marvel movie that's slightly better. They still do the exact same thing where they're like, in the first 8 minutes of the movie, we will set up every single plot element that will unfold. And that's pretty much it.
Doesn't bother me so much, TBH.
But they had the here, give me a second here. They had the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. They had I'm gonna send you the photo here. I love mythical creatures.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
as you should.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm a human being, you know.
Mhm.
I
A
love.
real human being.
I'm not actually seeing him, man. I'm not seeing him.
Oh no.
This is a tragedy. So I don't really, you know me. I don't really like superhero movies that much.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm not seeing him anywhere on here. Anyway, they had my favorite thing I've seen in any Marvel movie ever, which is the Foo Dogs or the Guardian Lions. They had massive real ones,
That's rad.
and they were just hanging out, and I was like, oh, those guys are sick. And then they had to like fight, and they just beat the shit out of things, and I was like, oh, that's sick.
That is pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Nice.
You can't really, none of the pictures really seem to have them, but there's a really blurry photo that was available. Apparently, like, they're under lock and key, but the visual form is a fantastic. You can't really see it well there, but they're just like these massive Guardian Lions, aka Foo Dogs, that are just chilling.
That's honestly really badass. I love that a lot.
And it was definitely my favorite part of the movie, because there's like a little like mythical village area, and that's just like my favorite part because there was a dragon. I was like, oh, that's sick as hell.
Dragons are cool. That's a fact.
Yeah, there was a dragon. I was like, that's awesome. There was like some other cool little creatures. There was a little guy with no head, but he was still alive and he was flapping around. He's got wings and he didn't have a head ever. Super cute. And his name was Maurice. It was a fun movie.
Nice.
They're the only. I think like you know how so Aquafina's in it.
Yes, that is
good.
true.
So she's cool. But she kind of fills the role of like, holy shit, what am I doing here? Like, you guys literally have superpowers. I am Nora from Queens. Like, I'm
just trying my best here.
No, it's just Katie from San Francisco. But like, you know, it's kind of like she's just like, I'm just like a goofy budding adult. What am I doing here? Which that role kind of works. There's a couple moments where it's a bit grating, and I'm like, yeah, all right, we get it. And then they introduce a second character that does that. And I'm like, well, you don't really need to have two. And he's also a British guy, so I just hated him.
That's true. We do hate British people.
I'm like, what? They didn't really need to add a second gag character who was like, what am I doing here? Especially not when, like, in the majority portion of, like, towards the third act, like, the four of the characters presented, two of them were basically gag characters. And I'm like, this is getting kind of...
Yeah, it's a yikes.
It's a little bit bogging things down, trying to give everybody a little subplot here. It's fun. I liked it well enough. I think it. I would say about like a fifth, maybe a sixth of the movie is just straight up in Chinese.
That's pretty great, that's honestly. Fun. I heard about that. I heard that's very. I heard, however, their like subtitle translation is ass garbage. A couple of my coworkers speak, I believe it's Mandarin, and they were like, yeah, no, like the subtitles are there, but they're not. Almost like when you hear people talk about anime dubs versus subs, where like some meaning just gets lost no matter how you do it.
I mean, I guess I didn't hear that. I'm not gonna say I have like a credible source, but like I was there with Mari, and like you know that's kind of like, she's you know like a Chinese tutor and that's her major, and she's, you know, spent a lot of time in Taiwan and stuff.
I mean, they could have also been bullshitting me. I'm totally...
And she said, like, she didn't really have any problem. Like, she didn't mention any problems with the translation. But she's also more forgiving for that kind of stuff, so... yeah, but there was a dragon, and there was some big dogs. Dog lions.
I do like the big dog lions.
Yeah, that was really, like, I was kind of there for that. They put them in armor at one point. Oh, it was so cute. And they, like, sat down to get the armor put on. It was great. It was like, these guys...
They get it.
They're friendly. They're nice. I think the movie was pretty good.
I
don't think it was amazing. I think it's a Marvel movie, so it's not very inspired, but there was some neat parts in it.
You know what? I think that's acceptable. Like, I think it's an acceptable place to land.
And they did my favorite thing that they do with every single property in any cinematic universe, which is they take Shang-Chi, which was an actually like pretty interesting movie that utilized a lot of plots and elements of various cultures and melded them together pretty well, and also went on like a little bit of a global trot, and it was cool. And then they're like, all right, buddy, now you're part of the Avengers. Now you're going to be part of a milquetoast, boring-ass group of people who does fucking nothing. Like, nothing cool. It's just like, why would you take something cool? There was dogs. There was lion dogs. And they were big and fun and fluffy. And now you're going to be like, yep, well, you got your powers, buddy. Time for you to go sit in a room with Iron Man.
I mean,
yay.
There's no one sitting in the room with Iron Man anymore.
And for like 3 weeks.
What?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of a boring direction.
I do have some issues with the fact that like there's very few standalone movies that are even vaguely inspired by like if the property has something has any connection that's broader, it's gonna turn into a like whatever universe. Like I do get that. Like I would be okay with things not joining the Avengers. Isn't that what the new
think it'd be fun
Eternals?
if it was.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Marvel Eternals. That one's supposed to be its own thing. I'm pretty sure.
For now.
Yeah, for now. Well, there's
Shang-Chi was its own thing. The whole movie was, and then you know, obviously, like they have to bring everybody together and they have to make references. I actually kind of want to see Eternals because I just like all the people, all the actors that are in it from the other things they've been in.
I don't know anything about Eternals, TBH.
I just know that Paperboy's in it, and I think Atlanta is like one of, if not like my favorite television series.
Fair enough.
It's just phenomenal, and like as an actor, honestly everyone in the show does amazing, and so like yeah, it's kind of worth going to watch to see like what's going on with the Eternals. Probably won't end up seeing it. Who knows? And it's got the actor, I don't know his name, but he's the buff guy in Train to Busan. He's going to be there.
I wish I could say that I knew who you were talking about.
He is, like, if you watch Train to Busan, he's just, like, everybody's favorite, and if he's not your favorite, what's wrong with you?
I see.
Yeah. I don't know, like, I don't know too many other people, but they kind of showed the cast, and it looked like some fun folks and familiar faces.
Some fun fellows, if you will.
Yeah, some fun fellows. Shang-Chi was cool overall. I think what they need to do, though, for, like, if they want to maintain any kind of relevancy with MCU, which obviously they'll be able to do no matter what, because people are just going to keep buying shit.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this one was nice because I don't think that it was sponsored by the Department of Defense at all, because there was no military equipment that I saw. And that's a first in a while.
Yeah, that's always nice.
Yeah, it's nice to not have it paid for with my taxpayer dollars, only to then turn a massive profit that doesn't go back to the public.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. I do appreciate that.
Always a good time.
It probably was in some regard, though.
Wow.
And the sister in the movie is pretty great, and I think if they do any kind of like spin-off with the sister and this other character, it'd be fun.
Fair enough.
So they should do that. But also, I'm talking like they should do like a. Are you guys familiar with like Justice League Dark at all?
Mm-mm.
Not excessively.
So obviously like the Justice League, your Batman, Superman, your Wonder Woman, like the big lads.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Wonder
who deal
Woman.
with your things like Darkseid shows up and he's got to get punched real hard. That's who you call.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's the Justice League Dark, which is like a secondary formation, usually headed by like Constantine, and it's like for threats of a malevolent, demonic, and magical in nature. Because like how Superman is like super weak to like magic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that's one
like
of his big
spell of break your legs. He's just like, ah, shit.
Oh shit! No, my legs. Yeah.
Yeah, and like so the Justice League is like very powerful, but they're not powerful. They're powerful in a very like punch and straightforward way, not against demonic and malevolent things.
Mm-hmm.
So like the Justice League Dark is like a whole bunch of people who are like, yeah, we fight demons.
Not for nothing. I feel like Darkseid should rank on some of that dark and malevolent energy, and he just doesn't.
No, he's just kind of like tough.
Yeah,
and he just wants to like end life to get laid.
I mean,
which honestly, that's a manly man move. I think
true.
He read the 10 tips.
He did.
Darkseid wants to fuck hard, so he's gonna kill everybody.
Good for Darkseid.
No, Darkseid's actually kind of an incel though, because he doesn't. Spoiler, I don't. Not for anything that's remotely new or in any kind of cinematic world, but with the anti-life equation, the lady he's trying to get to peg him is just like, yeah, still no, man.
So kind of like Thanos and Death. It's the same bit.
I'm pretty sure it's the same bit.
Huh.
That's very funny.
Yeah, I feel like anytime like a big tough guy's like, I'm gonna kill or I'm gonna do bad thing to get lady,
it just doesn't work.
Lady's like, that's bad. I don't really care.
Yeah, congratulations. You played yourself.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Darkseid's trying to get pegged.
I mean...
And then I'm also pretty sure it just doesn't work out for him.
It's extremely funny.
Yeah, hopefully. I think he'll bounce back.
Bounce back from wanting to get pegged or bounce back from getting beat
from the
down?
rejection.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think he's actually more of an incel. I think Thanos and Darkseid are kind of both incels.
I mean, I can back that. That seems reasonable to me.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, 100% agree.
Noah, you've also seen movie recently, correct?
I have seen movie recently. And I gotta be honest.
Were there any dogs in it, or dog lions of majestic origin?
So I got a spoiler alert for you, Jackson. I saw 2 movies recently, actually, and one of them did have dogs in it.
This guy's a cinephile.
So
well, hold on. I had dogs though, not dog lions. To be clear.
Yeah.
I think they're actually just straight up lions, but they just get called dogs.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a translation thing or if it's just a joke, but I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be just straight up lions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So let me tell you about Malignant, because I saw that, and I just want to come to the defense of Malignant for just a quick second here, but I don't want to spoil anything because I think
does it need it? I've heard it's very good.
Well, that's the thing, is a lot of people are saying it's very good, but you can find just as many people who say it's the worst thing they've ever seen, but like not in a joking way. Now let me tell you, this is a modern B movie. Like this is one of the most batshit things I have watched in ages. If you are a fan of like Dario Argento and Giallo movies, this would be something that you would like. It's over the top, it's insane, and it's just a really good time, but it's not good. Like the dialogue, if you're familiar with James Wan's like dialogue style from like The Conjuring or Insidious or the first couple Saw movies or anything that he has touched that didn't
I love
that
him.
he came up with. Yeah. You know that he's a master of dialogue, and there's never a single awkward line that doesn't quite land or anything like that.
Yeah.
James Wan is amazing because it's kind of like the movies are never really like that good, but they just do like a couple things that everyone's like, oh shit, all right. And they remember those, and then they walk away, they're like, yeah, remember that?
Remember how cool that was?
And that, in my opinion, is 100% what Malignant is. There's a lot of amazingly good moments in it that make you forget about the fact that there's like this really just like stilted relationship between every single character in the movie. You forget that because there's some visuals that will blow your mind.
Are there any of those classic maneuvers, the James Wans, where it's like, hey, noise in front of you, thing behind you, thing in front of you?
I hate to say it. I hate to say it, but there's not.
No!
We slightly have moved on from that. We've got some different
I wish we
going
didn't.
on.
I wish we hadn't. That's the best. That's the classic.
But
it is in fact the classic.
There is plenty of noise behind you, nothing there. Noise behind you, still nothing there. For what it's worth.
I like noise in front of you, look in front of you, noise behind you, look behind you, noise in front of you, thing in front of you.
See, but there's also thing there in dark, turn light on, thing gone. That does also happen.
Okay, that's a classic. You got to have that too.
But yeah,
I definitely want to check it out.
It's very. I
also kind of want to see. I want to see the new Venom movie.
Me too. Oh my gosh, it's 90 minutes long of pure Venom and Carnage action. I'm 100% down.
That sounds really fun.
Yeah,
and it looks pretty good too from the trailers. It looks like this. The effects look pretty good. Which another thing about Shang-Chi, like the effects looked pretty good. There was just one scene where a character gets like thrown into the water and it just looks bad, and then every other water effect looks good. So I just like one of them. I don't know if they got rushed or if they just couldn't figure it out, but like
for some reason,
one specific instance of water physics looks really janky.
Interesting.
And then the rest of them look really normal and like natural and good. Also, I think Shang-Chi is probably, maybe I'm not super familiar, but like the Marvel movie with the most just like straight up actual human death.
Like on-screen human death.
Yes, acts of murder.
That's fun.
By everyone.
I do love that.
Nice.
It's kind of like a lot of times it's like, oh yeah, like Iron Man punched that guy, or like, oh,
and then he's flown off screen and you don't see him again.
Yeah, and like flown off screen in a way where it's like, yeah, he's probably just like hit the wall and got knocked out. Like superhero movies. There's a lot of times where people just get like fucking just stabbed in the neck.
That's amazing.
There's not a lot of ambiguity about that one.
Yeah, there's like one particular scene where like it's just a man falling off of a building and screaming, and the camera just stays on him as he is like about to impact off of like a skyscraper. You're like, oh, that was.
Oh, he died. Oh, he died.
Like, yeah, they just like, I get it. You kick a guy off a building, it happens all the time, but you don't usually like pan the camera and be like, yep, we're gonna make sure you really know that this man is dying.
No ambiguity in our movie. We're not doing that. Oh, maybe he died off screen. He might come back. Shit. No.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, oh shit, that guy that was a murder.
I love that actually a lot.
Me too.
And it's all the kind of like the bad guys are like, yeah, we are like a crime syndicate. We're gonna do murders.
We're gonna do the crimes.
Like, oh yeah, that adds up.
I don't know what you expected from me. We're gonna do the crime. We said we was gonna do the crime.
We're the crime guys. We do crime.
Crime guys.
Crime Guys is a new episode on our network.
Is it just people doing crime?
It is. It is teaching how to do crime.
It's all shaky cam because it's filmed with head strap GoPros. It's just them doing crimes and running away.
Well, it's them doing
Crime Guys is just ex-cons sitting in a room talking about exactly how they did it and how they could replicate the results.
Exactly. It's not. But it's always framed in a way that's very anti-capitalist. So it's always against like only crimes against like massive corporations. No like robbing the little ladies.
I gotta be honest, we already have that show though. It's who is it? There's that one YouTube channel that has the guy who used to be a mobster.
Sucks though.
It does.
It sucks so bad. I want to see like full reenactment of it. I want it to be like a like a documentary style, like, yeah. So
and I want to see full frontal Batman nudity, but we can't always get what we want.
Not with that attitude, we can't.
Can we get Batman fucks on our network?
Oh, 100%.
This one's just porn.
that's the tagline, right?
And
there.
we don't use the porn actors we hired for the home improvement shows.
No, it's just I love that that's the tagline we use for it. Batman fucks. That tagline, this one's just porn.
Batman fucks. This one's just porn.
It's very good. I like that a lot.
So I saw another
favorite
movie.
thing about this episode. Oh, I was gonna say my favorite thing about this episode, real quick, is that it started with Noah being like, "I've got an intro," and then talking for like 15 minutes about 10 ways to be a manly man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's 10 minutes of unbridled toxic masculinity, and then we're talking about Batman.
Then
fucks.
we're off to the show.
Yeah, Batman fucks. Okay, what was the second movie you watched, Noah?
So, did either of you watch Don't Breathe?
Why does that sound familiar?
Yes, actually, that's the blind veteran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went and saw Don't Breathe 2.
I have heard nothing but weird and exclusively bad things.
That is the correct feedback that you should be hearing from this movie. This is one that I don't care if I spoil because it was not good. So to give Dan, you said you have not, right?
Correct, but I also have no likelihood of, so I think it's fine.
Okay, that's no, that's fine. I think you might enjoy the first one, but I don't think having it spoiled will ruin any moment of it for you. So I'm going to give you a quick recap. Minor content warning, I guess we can attach to this one. Just, you know.
Yeah, for sure. It's hard to talk about. Like the movie itself is also, I think the movie itself is definitely, there should have been more of some kind of like content awareness to it, because it really didn't, the twist is kind of like way more fucked up and triggering than it led on with the premise.
Yeah. So the premise of the movie is these three kids are robbing houses in Detroit. The one kid's dad owns the security company, so he gets a blank of everyone's key and he goes and he opens up the place. They go in, they steal all they want, and then they trip the alarm and run so that the alarm system still works, but they just were a little too fast and they managed to get through the place, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they go to rob this blind Navy SEAL, who apparently has a lot of money from some undisclosed court proceedings.
Wasn't it a settlement about?
Well, yes,
yeah.
At the moment, undisclosed. It turns out that it was because his daughter was killed in a car accident, and he just got fat stacks from that. But here's the big content warning part. When the guy's daughter died, he wasn't content with the money that he got. He was instead kidnapped the person who killed his daughter, and he trapped her in his basement and tried to get her to give him a new daughter. Now, in the movie, he tries to claim this weird high ground that he never actually forced himself on anyone because he had a turkey baster full of,
Jesus.
And they show it.
They show it.
They show the turkey baster.
It drips.
They show the dish.
Yeah.
And the turkey baster.
It's really, really grody.
They show his Rainbow Dash cum jar.
Mm-hmm. They do. So that is the character that I want you to keep in mind. That man, the old blind man, who ends up killing most of the people in the movie in very violent ways.
Horrific.
Truly. Now we have the next movie.
Mm-hmm.
And the main character of this movie is the old man.
Okay.
And that's where, in my mind, they really made this huge mistake, where they decided to try and make us sympathetic for the murdering, kidnapping rapist from the first movie. And they were like, no, it's okay because he's self-aware. He knows he's bad.
That's how it works.
Like, he's more of an anti-hero. You're like, no.
Yeah.
Why would he be any hero?
Well, no, that's the problem. Is he ends up kidnapping this girl, but because you open the movie and he has a kid, and you're like, oh my gosh,
oh no,
you can't tell me he ended up doing that again. But no, he didn't. He found a girl on the street. She had escaped a house fire, so he took her in and adopted her.
That's a weird way to say. Never mind.
Yeah, to say kidnapped. Yeah, exactly. Well, she lives with him for 8 years, and then her dad gets out of jail because his house is the one that burned down in their meth lab fire.
Oh my God.
And he comes in with these 4 other dudes to try and kidnap her back. And this movie is far more violent and graphic than the first one in its violence.
It sounds like the first one was already pretty fucking graphic.
It was already pretty graphic. There was a lot of like just getting beat down type of stuff. But no, this one actually had a lot more of that physical violence going on. There was no sexual violence in this movie. I would like to put that one out there.
Don't they give the crazy old man superpowers basically?
Crazy blind man powers, yes.
Yeah, I've heard he had like superhuman like Daredevil mode.
I know we're talking about how bad this movie is. I low key have a soft spot for I am blind and therefore have superpowers.
Well, no,
I don't
that's the
know
thing.
why.
I do like the first one for that reason. It all happens in his house. So it's like you can even put aside having to suspend your disbelief that the like trained Navy SEAL who lost his eyes to like, you know, a flash grenade or something like that. Like you can actually put aside that he would be able to do that to a point because he was in his house that he knows.
And he also, like, there's honestly, like, the first movie has some, like, brilliant moments in it because, like, yeah, they underestimate this man, but he is in his space that he has designed and regularly, like, traffics, so he knows when things are even a little bit off.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, there's a moment in the first movie where he turns the lights off on them.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, shit, because it's like, well, that's a big disadvantage to the heroes of the movie-ish. And the old blind man doesn't see a difference at all, literally.
And that was really cool. But then this movie comes around, and we get some really graphic violence. There's one guy whose favorite weapon is a hammer, and he's pretty wicked with it. One guy gets.
He's wicked with it.
With what he does with it, it's some pretty intense hurt that gets laid down with that hammer.
Oh, okay.
To the blind man, and then back on himself when the blind man ends up getting the hammer from him later.
Classic.
But the twist of this movie, because there has to be a twist. We got this red herring in the beginning about a guy who is kidnapping children to harvest their organs and sell them on the black market. Because, you know, we have to find a guy who's worse than the blind man in the first movie. Yeah. So we see these dudes in a pickup truck with a red cooler, and Jeff and I went to watch it, and we were laughing out loud because we're like, holy shit, is that the organ cooler?
Turns out it was, in fact, the organ cooler.
No, that's the thing, is it wasn't. It was a cooler full of Molotov cocktails.
For what?
It was a red herring. The organ guy was a red herring. And this guy it was just the guy who wanted to kidnap back his daughter, except also they were okay with her getting very injured, possibly. So, like, the plot did not add up in that regard. But then, after they get the daughter back, they end up burning down the house with the Molotov cocktails. That's how you find out that what was in there, you know?
Of course, of course.
But here's the thing. They kidnapped the daughter back, not because they loved her, but because the girl's mom, who she, like, you see her leaving flowers at her supposed death site at the burned out house and being like, oh, I miss my mom type of stuff. She's alive, but her lungs were burned by the meth factory fumes when it burned down. And because of that, she needs a new heart because, like, she got poisoned by that. So because they need a direct, like, relative for the blood match for some reason, they need to harvest
the daughter.
Yeah, so then out of nowhere, the organ collector comes back, and he's just like, "Hello, yes, you're paying me here to cut this girl's heart out." And then we get the most egregious examples of blind man powers. When the guy ends up finding his way to the bad guy hideout. And like all kinds of stuff like that. He ends up, you know, he has a pool of water on the ground that he's laying in, and 3 guys are in the water, and he feels where they are based on the ripples coming and hitting his hand, and he kills them all with a gun. And then the one bad guy who had qualms about cutting a heart out of a little living, like, girl, because they had to keep her alive, of course, to do the procedure, because he had to be exclusively the worst. The one guy who had like second thoughts about that turned on everyone. He's like, I'm not going to kill you because what they're doing is wrong. Go up the ladder behind you and you'll be able to cut them off. And then the movie ends with everyone except the girl dying.
Amazing.
I don't mind
Truly.
spoiling that because I really think this is not a movie that is worth going to see.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm good.
It has some really fun moments, but
also sounds like it has mostly bad moments.
Well, here's the thing. If this was a movie not set in the Don't Breathe universe, I would have been so happy. It would have been a really good
I think if it was just a blind veteran lost his daughter and adopted a young girl, only to later find out her biological parents were like, some kind of like bad folks who were out to get her and take her organs because they needed a biological match. That would be a good film. It'd be a fun action story.
Even if
we Taken, but with a twist.
Even if we kept him kidnapping her from the street like he did, and she just didn't know, but instead of it being the blind rapist, instead we had it be like some weird survivalist man who lives out on the outskirts of the city, it would still work. Like a weird survivalist, even because they were like, oh, well, we can't have another blind Navy SEAL, like hyper violent military vet. So now they just have this weird, like, loner who lost his daughter instead, but can see. Oh no. But like the bones of the story were not great, but I would watch them if the setting was not with the blind man in it.
Yeah.
Because that's the part that
I think
I can't get past.
I mean, I feel like even if it was just a blind man, but not like in a totally separate universe, it could be like Taken with a couple fun twists.
Yeah, like there's
being
options
like, oh, she's been taken by her parents,
and
like, oh, like she's been, or maybe like the twist could be that she was kidnapped in the first place.
Yeah, there's a lot of options.
But like, yeah, it's just the fact that they had to do it within an established universe in which they picked the least sympathetic character to make into a hero, because like in the first half of Don't Breathe, you're like rooting for the old man, honestly.
Yeah,
you're like, yeah, this guy, like he doesn't know what's going on, he's trying to defend his house.
It is a gut-wrenching
and then you find out
twist.
and you're like, and you're like, oh shit, yeah, well.
Big yikes.
Like,
and the twist works so well too, because you're kind of like, oh well, yeah, it's an awful twist, but his motivations are still the same, which is still defending his house from people who are robbing him.
Yeah,
it's one of those things where like it works, you can get it, and it's not terrible. But then this one, I can't get behind that thinking. It's hard for me to get past it. As such, I recommend if you really are interested in it, wait until like Dead Meat covers it eventually on the kill count, and you'll get to see all the best parts of the movie, and hopefully someone talking about how weird it is that they made the guy into the lead character. Now, in fairness, also the girl was the main character, and the guy talks a lot about how he's a bad person. And then as he dies, she's like, "No, wait, I can save you," as he takes her hand off his wound so that she doesn't like stop the bleeding. And he goes, "You already have," and then he dies.
Oh, yikes. Jesus Christ. Oh,
no.
fuck.
As he took her hand off and she's like, "Wait, I can save you," I leaned over to Jeff and I'm like, "Oh, you already have." And then literally he's like, "You already have." And I'm like, "No,
I was joking. It was a bit."
Ooh, boy.
I hate that.
That's genuinely so fucking rough.
Yeah, no, it was something special. But yeah, that's my big double feature movie corner this week.
I like your movie
two
corner.
movies, one to watch and one not to.
2 movies, 1 corner.
No.
What, Noah? What? I don't understand. What's wrong with 2 movies, 1 what's wrong?
Nothing.
Okay, good.
I feel like how relevant is 2 Girls, 1 Cup?
Not very. I feel like anymore.
That's what
there
I'm
are so many
like. I feel like there's
so many relics from the early internet that are just lost to time now. Like,
you know what I'm okay with being lost to time? 2 Girls, 1 Cup.
That's because you're a coward.
It's a relic.
It's a relic, yeah. It belongs in a museum.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel like Kesney would have really good insight into this because she interacts with children all fucking day. But I do kind of wonder, like, there've got to be some things that we're just like, oh yeah, no, that's an internet thing. We've all been like aware of it forever, whatever. And that, like, I feel like a lot of kids just wouldn't have any context for.
Yeah, I can go behind that.
And it's just, I don't know, it's just interesting.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think that there's a lot of internet things that are good to be lost, but at the same time, I know that there's a lot of things that are happening now that I have no context for.
That's true.
Because just so much stuff is happening and you can't keep up with it anymore. And
That's very true.
I'm when it comes down to it, I'm okay with that.
That's fair. I think it's a very okay way to look at it.
Not to steal Jackson's content creator from him, but I've been watching an awful lot of Northern Lion. And
yeah. Also, like you say, whatever. Never mind.
Yeah, Jackson's personal content creator.
Yeah. That nobody else has ever watched.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's under contract.
Sounds right.
But yeah, I have been watching a lot of his stuff, and one thing that he was saying in one of his Isaac episodes recently was that the generation of content is like, in general, like movies, TV, everything, YouTube, is to the point that you will never, no matter how hard you work, be able to keep up with all of it.
Correct.
Yeah.
So just stop trying and enjoy what you can keep up with. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah. That actually makes a lot of sense to me. I'm fine with this.
It is my number one, like the one thing that I do like for the most part, I'm like, oh man, living forever, bad time. But like, there's infinite content that is out in the world, and like some of it deserves to be watched, in my opinion. Like, I don't know, someone worked on it, might as well like be aware of it, kind of thing. And there's so much of that just physically is not possible to even begin to try and get access to all of it, even let alone actually consume all of it.
If it makes you feel any better, if you lived forever, you really wouldn't be able to still do it anyway.
It's true. It does make you feel better, because you are correct.
Mm-hmm.
If I lived forever, it would be the same problem, just on an infinite scale rather than on a...
Because you can't consume it as fast as it's being made, and when it stops being made, it's probably because there's no way to consume it anymore.
True. Although I do now like the idea of like some immortal being who's like sitting around with like in just a giant server room full of hard drives. It's like, all right, yeah, and like everyone's just like, what are you doing, old man? Why are you watching on whatever and not through your brain connector? It's like, it hasn't been reformatted yet. Just the loss of formats. I mean, we've talked, I think, on the podcast before about the loss of like a shitload of like art, yes, but also all sorts of other things, just because we have no way of accessing it anymore, right?
A little bit here and there, yeah. I think mostly because every now and then we bring up some crazy movie restoration or something. Like that one Iranian film I tagged you in on Twitter a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw that.
Dude, that's crazy.
Like Flash, actually, is one of the things that I was going to point to. Like Flash not being supported means that a shitload of things are just gone.
See, the issue with that doubly is not only was it no longer supported, but they actively removed it. Yeah. They could have just kept it defunct.
Well, no, because that would make too much sense, you see.
Adobe is evil. I fucking hate them.
Yes, that is a fact. We all are not Adobe stans. I mean, I only use Adobe products, but I'm not happy about it.
You use Adobe products because they have made themselves into the industry standard that is very hard to escape. But you know, and this is not me saying as if there's other companies that aren't evil, but it's like this was a specifically like really shitty move of them that bums me out in a big way.
Yeah.
Wait, what did Adobe do?
When they cut Flash and they actively removed it from everything instead of just letting it sit and be there.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
It's because it's been in a hey, Flash is no longer supported. Don't use Flash anymore. And like you'd get those. I don't know about you guys, but I get those pop-ups on YouTube like all the fucking time, or on YouTube on Google all the fucking time. But there's just being actively no longer supported, and it is going to be removed on all platforms. Please stop using our fucking old ass product, which is what they basically did.
Yeah,
it's very interesting to me.
It's true. It is very interesting. And it's kind of like shitty because like you really have nothing you can do about it.
No, not a single thing.
You just gonna be like, well, guess so.
Guess I'll fucking die.
Also, another thing about Shang-Chi is the filming of it. I don't know. There, to my knowledge, I am sure there's some parts, but like none of it takes place in mainland China. And I don't know if it's like, or they never like specifically state. It's kind of implied pretty heavily, but like they never specifically state we're in mainland China. Because the only place they reference being is Macau, and like, yeah, I don't know if that's like a
intentional thing or
maybe
not.
that's like where they filmed for funding purposes. But yeah, they were never just like, yes, we're just hanging out in. I don't want to say regular China because it's kind of rude, but like, you know,
There you got good China, you got bad China, you got regular China.
I didn't say bad. I just like mainland China, you know.
Oh yes,
like,
China
we're in
Prime.
Macau.
It's so funny.
But I think it's because Macau kind of has like the same reputation as Hong Kong in terms of in movies, which is like, oh boy, crime time.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That's fair.
Because like if people are like, yeah, we're going to Hong Kong in like a movie, it's never like we're going to Hong Kong. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a good time and see sights. It's like, yeah, no, it's for crime purposes. Why?
It's crime all the way up and all the way down.
Yeah, it's just like, yes, it is. We're doing this for crime.
You gotta love a good crime.
Yeah, and that's kind of I feel like how they used Macau, and maybe that's why maybe like China was like, yeah, can you not be like, yeah, we're coming to your country to do crimes.
You know what?
We're going from our country where we're hanging out to go to your country so we can do crimes.
Hello, yes, it is me. I would like to commit a crime.
I feel like I can't really blame them if someone was like, hey, can we come to your country for only filming the crime parts of the movie?
Oh, it's so good.
I would probably say no.
Please do not do that, actually.
Say no.
Please, in fact,
I would simply tell them,
that.
Please don't come here just for crime. Please do some sightseeing.
Do you think they would have signed off on it if there was sightseeing involved?
Please look at Great Wall. Please.
We worked so hard. We worked so hard on it.
Don't just do crimes. Shanghai has a cooler Space Needle than Toronto.
So this reminds me.
Please don't just do crimes.
There was this like thing that I used to have about movies where if there was a national landmark like the Eiffel Tower, the Statue of Liberty, the Great Wall of China, and it appeared in the movie and then it got damaged, I was like, well, this takes me out of the movie immediately. They can't do that because that's still around. There was something about that because, what was it? There was a scene in Fantastic Four 2, Silver Surfer, where that happened, and I'm like, I can't remember what iconic piece of like architecture it was.
If I'm thinking correctly,
I couldn't get past
wasn't there like a montage? Wasn't there a montage in that movie where like he destroyed all of them?
You know what? There might have been.
That sounds right.
I feel like he like destroyed the Eiffel Tower and the Golden Gate Bridge, and he destroyed like a whole bunch of them. And he was like, "It's me, the Silver Surfer."
Hey, it's me. I'm Silver Surfing over here.
And everybody was like, yeah, we're not going to remember this movie. And then it ended.
To be fair, nobody should remember that movie.
I had it on DVD, never watched it.
Whack.
It was like given to me for like Christmas one year by like an extended family member. I was like, yeah, you probably got this for like $3. I'm never going to watch this shit. I remember it sitting on my like movie shelf for years in the wrap, like in the plastic wrap.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, and it will stay there.
I think my dad bought it when it was brand new. Like when it just dropped on DVD, because we had all really enjoyed Fantastic Four because it was just like a goofy fun movie.
Mm-hmm.
And we picked up Silver Surfer very, very soon after it came out. And
then you realized the mistake you had made.
No, we still liked it. When did it come out, fair. Dude? You wanna tell me when it came out?
Like 2005.
I was gonna say 2004, actually. Yeah.
2007.
Okay, well, that's not comforting.
I thought it was ahead of its time.
So I was like 13, 14. Just, I don't think that it's unreasonable for me to have enjoyed it.
I do.
I can agree. I think 13-year-olds should be able to watch Rise of the Silver Surfer and not
be judged for it.
Expected to have. And not be expected to have like nuanced opinions on it.
I just saw that Doug Jones played the Silver Surfer, which blows my mind and also makes a lot of things make sense.
Sorry. Isn't that the Nostalgia Critic's name too?
So yes, that is a problem, yes.
You're talking the other Doug Jones.
I'm talking about the Doug Jones who was in Pan's Labyrinth and Shape of Water.
No, it's Doug Walker. It's the Nostalgia Critic's name. No, you're good, you're good. I don't know why I thought it was
I knew Doug was correct, and I was so caught off by that I couldn't possibly correct you, because I'm like, no, shoot, you're right, aren't you?
It's really funny.
No, I wasn't. Have you guys seen the first Venom movie?
Yeah. Dude, that was batshit insane, and I loved it.
I heard
it was just
good.
A really dumb, fun movie.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where, like, I really love having you just need dumb movies. You don't need every movie to make a point. And this movie made no point whatsoever. It was just there. It was literally only there to have a good time. I don't know. It was good. It was fun. It was just fine.
Wait, does Tom Holland wear the Spider-Man Noir suit in one of the movies?
I don't think so.
Yes. Yes, he does.
Oh, he does?
I thought I hated him as Spider-Man, but maybe he has some value.
Yeah, no, it is technically it goes under a different name, but it is a Spider-Man Noir suit. Spider-Man Noir. It was in Far From Home.
Oh, okay.
See, I didn't watch that one because I watched half of the first one and thought it sucked.
They call it the stealth suit, but it is very, very inspired by the Noir suit, and I am a huge fan of it.
I love the Noir suits.
I love Noir Spider-Man in general, I gotta say.
He'd just be solving crimes and leaning against things.
Dude, I very much enjoy Noirs a lot, and I feel like we, as a society, have kind of moved on from them, and that makes me very sad.
We have.
It makes me very, very sad.
It's because of the trench coats. You like them because of the trench coats.
It's because of the trench coats. It's the trench coats and the alcoholism, damn it.
I think Spider-Man will probably always be my favorite superhero. It's just you can't beat him.
No, that's true. Mm-hmm. Spider-Man is best superhero.
Because he's poor.
It does help
and that's
that he's
sick
a
as
man
hell.
of the people.
And that's why Tom Holland is stupid and dumb as Spider-Man. He seems like a fine person. He seems like a nice enough guy. Mm-hmm. But his Spider-Man sucks because he's not poor.
You know, I used to really go against all the people that said Tom Holland is a bad Spider-Man because no one ever actually gave a good reason other than he's just
a fine
as good
Spider-Man.
As Andrew Garfield. But that is a good reason.
That's weird.
I will acknowledge
I think
that
he's a
is
great
very
actor,
valid reason.
And I think he is a good person to play Spider-Man. I think that the character in the newer movies is bad because like it doesn't have the spider. It's great when you get to see a kid who has nothing, whose parents are no one and they're dead. You get to see him literally get bitten on a science trip that he earned like his way to getting by like being like in the top of his class. He gets bit by a spider and then he has to fight wrestlers to get money for a suit, and that's like it's something.
There's something there.
Like in the Insomnia games where he's literally getting evicted and that's part of the story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like that to me is Spider-Man. I'm like, yeah, I have those problems, Spider-Man.
Well,
you do too. You're just like me.
That's exactly what it is. Spider-Man is the key tenets of Spider-Man are he's just trying so hard and he is not doing great at it.
Yeah, he is doing he's just a kid from New York
that's barely holding it together.
He loves a bagel and schmear, and he just gets the shit kicked out of him a lot, and it can't pay his rent.
I feel like that's what Spider-Verse got right. Honestly, I think that was like, I like Spider-Verse a lot. I thought that like personally, as far as like, hey, here are the themes. It just didn't. Some parts didn't resonate with me as well as others, but specifically the key part about being Spider-Man is just getting back up every single time. I thought was very poignant and very much like you're right. Everyone can be a Spider-Man.
I think that's why Spider-Man has just kind of always like resonated with me personally. Because I'm like, yeah, this guy is just a person and he fails a lot, but he always, in the end, does the right thing. Whether or not he succeeds and whether or not it's best for him, he's trying to do the right thing. And I think like that is cool. Because he's not punching God and spending billions of dollars that he gained from, like, war crimes.
True.
He's just poor. He likes bagels. His aunt's cool. And not hot. And he's, just trying to be a good guy. And it's hard. And it's really hard. And I like that.
All the comments about his hot aunt are actually really weird, too, in my opinion.
I know.
They definitely need to, like, calm those down. Every single character
enters the screen
and they're like, Peter, do you know your aunt's a MILF?
They knew what sells.
They did, to be fair.
They did, but they also could have shut up about it just a tiny bit.
That is also true.
That actually does make me want to watch the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, though, because I just want to see the Noir suit. Because I just think it's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's really neat. I thought Far From Home was actually really fun. I liked Far From Home a lot. I like no spoilers. I like that, like, I don't know how to say this without spoiling it. Damn. I like the way they handled the lesson that Spider-Man learned, I guess the way to phrase that. Does that work? Does that work without spoiling anything?
Fuck, I don't know. I haven't seen it.
No, you've seen it, right?
I haven't seen it yet either. No, I haven't made it to around to doing it yet.
Yeah, I kind of want to go buy Venom so I can watch it before the new one comes out. But is that a foolish choice to make that my first like 4K?
Yes,
DVD?
Yes, because I already own Venom, and you should just come over and watch it.
Do you have it in 4K?
No, but I don't have a 4K player either, so like it's a wash.
Oh, where's your PS5?
Oh, yeah. Shoot, you're right. You're right. Where's your 4K HDMI cable? Do you have one of those too?
No, my TV does have a 4K port, though. But I'm pretty sure the PS5's output port isn't 4K. You can only really stream in it.
Interesting.
That's weird, but okay.
Yeah, I'm not 100% on that, but I'm pretty sure that the output port for the PS4 is not a 4K. And also, aren't all HDMI cables 4K and they just market them that way to sell them for more money because the cable is the same, it's the ports that matter?
I think that there are some that are not 4K. I think it is becoming more of a rarity, but I do not think they are all 4K.
I thought it was more about the ports, but I mean, since I'm using the cable that came with the PS5, so if that's not 4K, I'm gonna call the cops.
I think that's fair.
True.
Yeah, because I know like DisplayPort is like way better at like a lower price point.
DisplayPort is such a wild thing that like I feel like I wasn't like when I built my PC before this one, DisplayPort was really not a thing, and then suddenly it's like, oh yeah, no, you're only using DisplayPort now. Why would you ever use HDMI?
Yeah, when I built my PC, I didn't know a DisplayPort was a thing, but I only have DisplayPort outputs. It's been years, but like I was like, oh, this is inconvenient and lame.
Yeah,
which I still stand by because a lot of like you can't plug a DP cable into most things.
Right. I feel like it's a stupid like industry standard thing where a lot of industry items are DP only, but a lot of consumer items are HDMI, and it's like, hey. I like that you give me the option, but maybe give me the option across the board.
Please continue to give me option.
But anyway, I think this is a good time to wrap up. We're starting to complain about HDMI cables, so like, if that's not scraping the bottom of the podcast banter barrel, I don't know what is. I want to thank everyone for listening to 10 straight minutes of super manly manliness, and then still listening to the rest of the episode.
Can you imagine if this is somebody's first foray into this podcast?
Honestly, this is a really strong first episode. What are you talking about?
So I just looked up the PS5 port is like 4K, 120 hertz.
Ooh, look at that. I mean, don't look at that, but you know what I mean. Oh, you could look at that.
No, do look at that. Yeah, that's the whole point.
Look at that.